You're still tuned into EKSE Live right here on DSTV channel 263 for you, by you. Cape Town TV has rebranded. If you are not familiar with the new branding, get with the program. But of course, today is hashtag Scientific Wednesday, and we are talking about everything that has to do with science and social justice. Now, you might be wondering how these two come together. Well, you have to make sure to stay tuned with us until the very end, because I'm sure after the show, everyone will be informed about how these two topics are connected. And of course, another exciting thing, rather, that's happening within the science world in Africa is that the World Science Forum is going to be hosted in the African continent for the very first time in 2022. And of course, the Beyonce of all African countries. I'm just joking. But South Africa is the Beyonce of all African countries. I mean. But South Africa will be the hosting country. And of course, the theme is all about how social justice is integrated when it comes to science. And we'll also be celebrating and promoting the values of Ubuntu, which is something that as South Africans we hold very dear to our hearts. And of course, giving a platform to people whose voices are often ignored, a platform for them to engage and also speak about the challenges that people face on a grassroots level.
So we've got an amazing guest with us, and of course, if you tuned in the beginning of the show, you would know Mr. Mthemabu is here in the house. He is a specialist within the multilateral environmental agreements at the Department of Science and Innovation. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. So tell us, please tell our viewers, what exactly is the World Science Forum about? Michlali was very excitedly talking about how it's here for the first time, but what is it about?
It is indeed very exciting that we'll be hosting the World Science Forum in South Africa for the first time in the African continent. So the World Science Forum originally started in 1999.
Wow.
It's a leading scientific dialogue that was initiated by a number of leading scientific organizations across the world. We'll be hosting it together with the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. We also have UNESCO involved. We've got other academies from Europe and America involved. So this forum brings together all the eminent scientists that you can think of in the world to come to South Africa and Cape Town to discuss about important issues that affect science globally. And obviously, in South Africa, I want to interrogate how can science play its role in society, but also having chosen and proposed a theme for science for social justice. As you know, in South Africa, we face many challenges, be it crime, poverty, inequality, and many others, climate change, for example. So we want this conference to look at all of these issues and many other issues and say, how can science play its rightful place in addressing some of these challenges that we face, not only in South Africa, but across the globe. And you will realize that some of these problems, or most of them, by the way, can't be solved by, for example, if you look at climate change, you cannot solve climate change as a country. You need a global effort and partnerships to deal with these challenges. But I think as South Africa, we want to make sure that as we host them in South Africa, we also profile our country and our scientific capability so that we can also shape the global discourse in terms of science and technology.
What are some of the outcomes that you're hoping to achieve from this science forum that is going to take place?
Well, what we hope to achieve at the end of this dialogue is to, let me first say that we are hoping that we will have a declaration that will then talk to the deliberation that emanating from the conference that will take place. And the conference will deal with a number of pressing issues. For example, science for climate justice, for example, science for Africa and the world, science for human dignity. These are some of the thematic sessions that will be part of the conference, and we hope that the conference will drill into these issues and come up with recommendations that not necessarily bind people, but it will provide guidance to to everybody that will be in the conference to say these are the issues that we might need to consider going forward in order to deal with these pressing issues that we face.
Speaking about everybody getting involved in the conference, how can youth specifically sort of get involved? How can people attend, and especially if they're young people, encouraged to be there?
Prior to actually the first event took place today, but we have also other build-up events that are taking place as a build-up to this conference. I know, for example, on the 3rd we have something around citizens run for clean air in the city of Cape Town. As they will be taking that, participating in that run, they will be doing air quality monitoring, which is very relevant to the quality of life that people live in Cape Town.
Most definitely, and unfortunately, Mr. Mthembu, we've run out of time. We'd have to cut this interview very short. I mean, I wish we had so much more time, but thank you so much for coming to speak to us about the topic of the day, and I really do hope that the people at home are going to be involved in this conference.
Ask questions,
and
right?
they will make sure that they attend it. But I want to head over to Usibu to check out what's happening with the Afro Soul.